Jai Hind everyone, my name is Mukulit Goel and I am assistant professor in Department of MCA, and today my lecture is on introduction to Python from the subject Python programming for the MCA second year student with the subject code of BMC 301. So in starting I will talk about what is Python, an overview of Python. Like Python is a high level interpreted, interactive and object oriented scripting language. Why we call it as a scripting language? Because it supports both. It is a programming language as well it is a scripting language. So Python is a scripting as well as programming language, and it is designed it is designed in the form of highly readable English keywords which forms from the other languages, and it is interpreted, interactive and object oriented language. What does interpreted mean? Interpreted means that it is processed at the runtime and we do not need any compiler, a special or separate compiler for Python. What do you mean by interactive? Interactive means that we can actually sit and interpret, we write our program and interact with them. And object oriented is basically it supports the concept of object oriented programming language, which is encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, etc. And why we call it beginner's language? Because it supports the wide range of applications, development of wide range of applications, and it is a very, we can say, those who can understand Python, is a very simple language. Why I am calling it as a simple language, we will understand it later as my PPT goes. So what is the difference between the compilation of Java program and a Python program? So when we talk about Java, compilation of a Java program, we write a source code, we compile it, and during compilation it forms a series of a file which is a class file, and in technical language we call it as a bytecode, and after that we get the output, and after that we got the output. While in case of Python we directly interpret it into a machine language, means we do not any compilation and its file cannot be converted into any other file which can be known as class file or bytecode. It directly show an output. So from here the word comes Python. So the Python starts with its developer whose name is Guado van Rossum. He started working on it in the late 90s, and its names comes from his influential director of the series which known as Monty Circus, and the director name is Monty Python. So he influenced by the director, so he names its programming language as Python. Python is copyrighted and is now available under the JNU General Public License. Its features is easy to learn, easy to read, easy to maintain, broad standard library, interactive mode. I already talked about the interactive mode of Python. Now I will discuss on a broad standard library. What do you mean by the broad standard library? Broad standard library means the main reason of the popularity of Python is its broad standard library, in which we don't need to write a very long code. We just write the name of the function which is in the library, which I will show later in my programs, and just we got the output. The programs in which we write around 10 to 12 lines in Java, if we write the same program in Python, we can got the result in 4 to 5 lines. Means in some of the program we are saving around the 50% of our effort. So it is portable without any class file or bytecode like in Java. It is extendable, it supports database, it supports GUI programming, means it supports graphics, and it is scalable also because it provides a better structure and support for large programs. In which environment we can run Python? Python can be run on any of the operating systems, and it will have a support on Java and .NET virtual machines. Its basic syntax, very easy syntax when we want to print anything. We don't need to write any word which is other than print. It supports basic English words. Like for print, we just need to write a print. We define our string, and when we press the enter, we got the output. Like for printing, I just write print hello Python and it will print hello Python. If we want to do a print of any mathematical application, I just do a mathematical application 3 plus 4 into 5 by using the BODMAS method. 4 into 5 20 plus 3 is equal to 23. We don't need write any define it, need to define it under any variable, no scanf, no printf, no public static void main, no system.out.println for printing and defining any string in Python. What is a script mode? Script mode is what I have just done, like I want to print anything. So by just writing that under a print statement, it directly print our output. Its identifiers, if we need to define an identifier, it supports the basic rules which are like it starts with the alphabet, either capital or small. It will start with it can use any underscore, but does not allow any special characters or punctuation characters like @ ampersand and %. Python is also a case sensitive language like any other programming language. Okay, and for the naming conventions, the class name starts with an uppercase letter and all other identifiers with the lowercase letters. Starting an identifiers with a single leading underscore indicate by conviction that identifier is meant to be private. Starting an identifier with 2 leading underscore indicates a strongly private identifier, and if identifier also ends with 2 trailing underscore, the identifier is a language defined special name. Some of the reserved words in Python. In Python, we use keywords with only lowercase letters. Means small or a capital or is different. For definition of any function, we use def, but def is something different. Okay. So the keywords contain only lowercase letters in Python. For any loop and for defining any block in Python, we use indentation. Indentation is the part of the code for defining any loop, like you can see in an example. If true, print answer, print true, else print answer, print false. So this space between the if true statement and the print is known as indentation in Python, and this indentation defined the block of the code. Like we use parenthesis in any other language, we use indentation in Python. So indentation is the identification of any block of code after defining any loop, any class, any function. Okay. There is no need of any braces to indicate the block of code, and the number of spaces in the indentation is variable, but all statements within the block must be indented the same amount. We can give the more space, but the space into each indentation of the single block is same. Python supports multi-line statements. Statements in Python typically end with a new line, and however the use of the line continuation character, which is backslash, to denote that the line should continue. This slash indicates that total is equal to item 1 plus item 2 plus item 3. And statement contained within the square bracket, curly bracket and parenthesis do not need to use the continuation character. When you end this parenthesis, square bracket and curly braces, it ends your statement, whether you write it in a single line or in a multiple line. For comment we use hash, and for commenting any statement in Python we use hash, and blank lines are those which have contain only white spaces, and it contains with the comment, and if it does without comment, and if it is written into a comment, then Python totally ignore it. And also there is one special feature in Python that we can write multiple statement in a single line separating by a semicolon. Like I write it, I import system, and we write multiple statement into a single line which is divided by the use of semicolon. X is equal to foo semicolon sys dot standard out dot write into a next line, slash n represents the next line. So this is the multiple statement which we write in a single line using a Python. Python does not require any semicolon at the end of statement. Python require colon while we terminating any block. When we writing any block, means we can group the multiple statement as suits if we use any loop, if loop, if else, while. So while we use these type of loops, we use colon at the end of their expression. If we use if expression, then I have used colon to defining its block. From here the block will start, and the if statements have defined that expression. There are multiple variable types and multiple way of assignment in Python. Variables are the reserved memory locations to store values, and we have to create a variable to reserve some space in memory. And based on the data type of a variable, the interpreter allocates the memory and decides what to store in their memory. And one also special feature in Python, that we can do a multiple assignments in Python by writing a single statement. Like I have shown in an example, when we want a same value in more than one variable, we write in a single line with a single definition, A is equal to B is equal to C is equal to 1. Means 1 represents in A also, B also and C also. Like we want to define multiple values in multiple variables, we use comma, A comma B comma C is equal to 1 comma 2 comma any word, any alphabet, any character, any number. So here A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2 and C is equal to John. We assign a value to a values to a variable by just defining the equal to sign. Equal to sign represents the assignment. There are 5 types of standard data types: number, string, list, tuple and dictionary. String, list, tuple and dictionary are also defined into a data structure type. Python numbers are the data type store numerical values. They are defined as in a variable, and they support 4 different numerical types, which is integer, long, float and complex. String is represented is identified as the continuous set of characters in between quotation marks, and it supports the slicing like we do as arrays in any other programming language. Like I have an example of a string where I write hello world, and I want to print the whole string, I just write the word print str. The print str print the string. For for representing the first letter, the indexing starts with 0, as same as it starts in any other programming language. For slicing, the second represents the position from which I used to slice the index, and 2:5 means we can write till 4. Okay. So for hello world, if I start with 2, 2 represent first L, 3, 4 is hello. When we do not write any number after the colon, it means all the words after the third character, means the index of 2. So 0, 1, 2. So hello is H is 0, E is 1 and first L is 2. So from 2 till the whole string which is given by the user. So it prints hello world. For repetition means, for repetition we use star, and for concatenation we use plus. So for star into 2 prints this string 2 times, star into 5 print this string 5 times. For string plus test means we concatenate this string with another string. So hello world test. So test is concatenated with the hello world. List is another type of data type or data structure in Python, which is represented through the square bracket. Okay. The slicing rules are same. List can have the multiple types of variables in a single list. Into a single list, like list is equal to ABCD is a character. The characters are represented by using a single colon or single quotes and double quotes. Numbers cannot be represented through any code. If numbers are represented through any code, then they are considered as the characters. Print list, print all the list. Print list 0, first element. Print 1 to 3, 1 is to 3 we use the means first and second. Then for concatenation, we create another list and concatenate with the first list. So we use print list plus tiny list. Tuple, for tuple we use parenthesis, means we use parenthesis. Tuples is another data type that is similar to the list, but the values here are separated by the commas, and tuples can be thought as the read only list because they are not editable. List can be editable, matlab list are mutable but tuples are immutable. This is the same example using for tuple. The slicing in the tuple is same as the slicing in the list. We can convert the list into tuple and tuple into the list. For conversion, we just define what tuple, what list we want to convert into a tuple and what tuple we want to convert into a list. Last is dictionary. Dictionary are represented using parentheses. All these data structures I will explain in detail in my next lecture. The Python dictionaries are hash table type. It has their values in key and value pair. All dictionaries are represented in a curly braces. Like this is an example of dictionary. Like in this dictionary, I write name colon John, means name is the key and John is its value. If we want to print all the keys, then we define tiny dictionary.keys, and if we want to print all the values, then we define tiny dictionary.values. So all the values got printed here in the last line, and tiny dictionary.keys, all the keys are represented printed in the second last line. These are the data type conversions like int, long, float. All these are available in Python. Set, order, hexadecimal, octal. We don't need to write any code or any logic for converting the number into an hexadecimal and hexadecimal to decimal. We just use the word hex and the oct. For the naming conventions of variable and constant, for defining the constant in Python, we use capital letters. Constant means like pi. Pi has its definite value which is 3.14. Gravity have its definite value, defined value which is 9.8. So when we use these type of constants which have their static value all over the world, we use the for defining them we use capital letters. For Python input and output I have already told. For input prompt from the user we use the input, and for output we use the simple word print. Output formatting. The output formatting can also be changed using the index of the string. Difference in what is the difference in the output of these two code? In first line, the input is done by a user which is of any type, means it can be int, it can be float, but in the below line of code, it is definitely to be the part of int. It should be a type of int. Int means integer. This is one program. I also have some programs to explain you how we write the programs in Python. We write a program in Python to determine a person is eligible to vote or not. If not, then how many years of left to be part of an voting. So what we do, we define a variable which is constant, means voting age is 18. It should not be below than that. So we use voting age variable in a capital letters. We ask the age of the user by using input, and it should be int type. We print if age is greater than equal to voting age, means if it is greater than equal to 18, we have a right to vote, so we are eligible to vote. Else, the years left is equal to voting age minus age which is inputted by the user. So, after getting the else statement, it will print the age of the person and also print how many years are left from voting. Means if any user type 14, then the year left for voting is 4. Okay. Then another program which is for the multiplication table which can be inserted by the user for writing the multiplication of any number. So from it should be a int type. So we get the input from the user and we just see whether it is in the range of the input or not, and we write it in the form of parenthesis inside the parenthesis to define a table. 2 into 1 is equal to 2. So this is the syntax for defining that. This is a program for writing a Python. I will end my video lecture.